What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Headlocks and Hot Packs. I am back at it again with our next vintage basketball set. We have 2 boxes here, as you can see, but it is only one set. Kind of tough to tell. You can kind of see a little bit of it on the top there. But tonight we're going to be getting into 1993-94 Skybox Premium. You can see one of them has Series 1, the other has Series 2. This was, of course, an eBay pickup. We've been doing this for quite a few months now, just randomly getting sets off of eBay, but it was a pretty good price. It was $40 plus shipping for the complete thing. Definitely a lot cheaper than getting a wax box because everybody is after the inserts. But this is going to be Series 1 here. We'll begin with this. Some Hall of Fame rookies can be found in here. You have Chris Webber, and then some like lesser names. What way are these going? Looks like they're gonna be a little bit out of order. So they're in number order, but it's kind of backwards. So I guess we're gonna be going backwards with these ones. But as I was saying, you got Chris Webber, and then Tony Kukoc is also in the Hall of Fame. This guy right here, Calbert Cheaney, is not. Here's the design. And these are very beautiful cards. We're going to be starting with the rookies since we're going to be going from 191 down. And then Series 2 is obviously 192 and up. Irvin Johnson, not Magic Johnson. And then Sean Bradley. He was the number 2 overall pick in that draft. Definitely kind of a kick in the nuggets for the 76ers on that one. Brent Price, that is the brother of Mark Price, who people will definitely remember more than Brent Price. And then we're going to be going by team backwards now as well. There's Purvis Ellison, Kevin Duckworth. This was his final years in the NBA. There's John Stockton in the Hall of Fame. We'll have a couple of Jordans to be had in here. There are subsets as well. I don't recall specifically what inserts come in boxes of these. Or wax boxes, I should say, which makes those more expensive than just picking up a set like this. There's the glove, and Nate McMillan, Derek McKee. This was some pretty good Sonics teams. Of course, a few months ago, I kind of kicked off this, I don't know if I'd call it journey, but this little run of doing vintage basketball sets every so often. With 93-94 Fleer, another really beautiful product from 93-94, along with this one, Sean Elliott. He was dealt to the Pistons heading into this season, of course, for Dennis Rodman. Didn't really work out for the Spurs, although I guess it kind of did because they ended up getting Sean Elliott right back like a year later. But didn't really work out with Rodman. Here are the Trailblazers. They were on the downslide at this point. Drexler would eventually be on his way out the following season to the Houston Rockets. There he is, Clyde the Glide. Thunder Dan Marley, another Western Conference team, which their best days were behind them. There is Chuck. I believe the subset in Series 1 is the, it's like an NBA on NBC focusing on the playoffs. We'll find another Jordan in there. So both of the Jordans will be Series 1. Series 2, I think it's just the poster cards, and then they also have a subset. I forget if it's like trading places or changing faces or something like that. But, guys on their new teams, rookies, free agents, trades, and such. There is 3D. Orlando on the rise at this point. There is Shaq. And then, of course, Penny Hardaway rookie will be coming up. There are definitely more like lesser name rookies. I even kind of regret calling them lesser names. I feel like I've been saying that for years on the channel now, but although there was only a couple Hall of Fame guys from this class, or actually technically really only one, because the other 2 were from previous draft classes, but they were both European players. who stayed in Europe for a couple of years. Of course, talking about Dino Raja and Tony Kukoc. So Chris Webber, the only Hall of Fame rookie from this draft class, but a bunch of guys that had good careers, like Penny Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn had a good career. You also Nick Van Exel had a good career. You could say like Isaiah Ryder had a decent career. Probably not everything it should have been. Like Vin Baker had a nice career. So some solid players and some all-stars came out of the '93 draft. Like I said, even though there was only the one Hall of Famer. Anthony Avent is stuck to the back of John Barry. Might be possibly the least well-known of the of all of Rick Barry's sons. I think Brent Barry's probably the most known, and I would kind of argue Drew Barry might be more known than John Barry, even though Drew didn't really play much in the NBA. He had that buzzer beater during March Madness when he was in college, so that is debatable. Let me know in the comments down below. Actually, let me know in the comments down below if you even know what I'm talking about with the Barry brothers. Definitely showing my age. There is Danny Manning, and then Mark Jackson. He would be on the move, I think, right around the trade deadline of this to this squad here, the Pacers. Pooh Richardson, one of the guys he was dealt for. And then it only lasted a couple of seasons, and he was on the move again. There's Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer. Definitely one of the top 5 all-time greatest shooters, I would say. I think younger people would probably say not. I'd go Steph, Clay, Larry Bird, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. Those are mine anyways. There is Chris Mullin, speaking of sharpshooters, and then Sharunas Marshallonis. That is a mouthful of a name that you definitely wouldn't know how to pronounce unless you were familiar with him. And then Victor Alexander rounds out the Warriors. Should only be one more stack of Series 1 here. I'm going to try and keep these in number order, and then we'll get into Series 2, so we'll have a couple more stacks. There is Isaiah, there is the Worm, of course, traded to the Spurs, as I said. Alvin Robertson, one of the better perimeter defenders of the 80s. Late 80s, definitely. Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars. Pistons definitely still had some names at this point, even though they were all old, and Isaiah and Laimbeer were on the verge of retirement. LaFonso Ellis. I think this was the final year the Nuggets wore those uniforms. I do believe it was. Actually, it might have even been 93, 94 that they switched. I'm thinking 94, 95. On to Dallas, there is Jim Jackson. I don't know why it says 92, 93 rookie. We've done 92, 93 Skybox on here, and I'm trying to remember if he had a base rookie at all in that set. He might have only had an insert, which is why they put the 92, 93 rookie on there. Or they do it just to be different. I'm not really sure. Now for the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen, the defending champion Chicago Bulls. 2-time. There is Michael Jordan. Pretty decent shape on that one. I don't think it's a 10. There's definitely some white in the top left corner, I think, as you guys could see. He looks kind of dumbfounded on the back. That's a little bit of a derp face from MJ. You don't see a ton of that. Interesting photo choice from Skybox. Alonzo Mourning throwing one down. Kendall Gill in a trade to the Sonics. I cannot recall who that one was for. There's the X-Man. Here's the Celtics. I think I might have had like maybe one or two of these already in my Celtics PC, but not anything super valuable from that club at this point. that's for sure. There is Darren Blaylock. You don't see that too often. Of course, y'all would know him better as Mookie. And 1993-94 Game of the Week schedule. Those were the days. I remember watching so many of those games on the weekends when I was a kid. And oftentimes they would have like double headers, triple headers. So during basketball season, my weekends were completely full of the NBA on NBC. David Robinson Inside Stuff, and then here's the, like I said, the NBA on NBC subset. And this is all like, basically each round of the playoffs it goes by. There's Barkley. So some teams will have multiple players, like the Bulls, obviously, because they won the championship. Scottie Pippen, Dan Marley, Michael Jordan. Kind of skying over John Starks there. What round is this? Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of Starks, there he is. There's Sam Perkins. I think that was the West Finals against Phoenix. David Robinson. Oliver Miller. So that's why there's this kind of like some interesting choices, like Phoenix made it all the way to the finals, so they didn't use Charles Barkley like 4 times. There was Larry Johnson, and then the checklist. Alright, we'll get on to Series 2. Like I said, I will have another subset in there, which I believe are called poster cards, if I'm not mistaken. Although I don't know that any of them were ever actually real posters. We'll get that out of there as carefully as possible, even though it looks like the first card is already a little bit dinged up. Let's just get everything out, because this is just going to be more rookies that we did not see in Series 1, that subset, and then, of course, any roster changes. And we're going to be going in backwards order again. Very interesting, the way that the seller put this one in numerical order. I'm going to have to reverse everything. So checklist, and then these are the poster cards. Kind of hard to see, honestly, because of the black borders, but that said Point Break for John Stockton. I thought each team had one, so I don't know why it didn't start with Washington. Tower of Power, I remember that one quite well. Scorelord, Mitch Richmond. Glide. I don't know how many of these were like guys' actual nicknames. Like, I don't think Cliff Robinson was ever called Cliffhanger. That's definitely not a real nickname for Barkley. So I guess the theme was not really to be nicknames. There's Future Shock, Shaquille O'Neal. John Starks, interesting choice for the Knicks. And then Kenny Anderson. There is Christian Laettner. He was their hope at this point, which we all know didn't work out. Great Balls of Fire. It's not a WWE pay-per-view. It's a Glenn Rice. Ron Harper driving force. That might be the most bland one of them all. Joe Dumars. High Altitude. That is LaFonso Ellis. Mark of Excellence. I definitely remember seeing that one years ago. Pippen, that's a cool one. AM, that's kind of, that one's kind of bland too, I guess. No, Washington didn't get one, they gave Utah 2. And then this was the other subset, so this is changing faces. So rookies, guys from trades, free agents. There's Kendall Gill, Detlef Schrempf. Pretty big additions for the Spurs. Dennis Rodman, first year he started dyeing his hair. Harvey Grant, that's Horace's twin. Joe Klein, AC Green. Moses Malone, returning to Philadelphia. There's Penny, first sighting of him. Not technically his rookie, because we'll be seeing that coming up. Kevin Edwards, Rex Walters, Mike Brown, and Isaiah J.R. Ryder. There is Vin Baker, who made like a handful of all-star teams. I think a couple with Milwaukee and at least a couple with Seattle. Terry DeHare and Mark Aguirre at basically the end of his career. Antonio Davis, that's his rookie year. Sam Cassell, another one of the quote-unquote what I call lesser names. There's Weber. Lindsey Hunter, Allen Houston, he had a nice career, former All-Star. There's Popeye Jones, real name Ron Jones. Chris Mills had a decent career as well. Hersey Hawkins. I don't think Hersey Hawkins was the guy that was traded to Charlotte for Kendall Gill. Who the hell was it? I'm like drawing a total blank, if I can talk. George Mursan, rookie card. Anybody out there ever see the movie My Giant? Billy Crystal? I do believe it was the something about the filming of that movie that messed with his feet so badly that it basically ended his basketball career. Or not ended his basketball career, or for the most part ended his basketball career. He never was really healthy after that. A little bit of stickiness on these, not too bad. So there's Kendall Gill in his new uni. Vincent Askew. Askew what? I don't know. There is Rodman again. So mostly guys in their new uniforms. And anybody that was not a part of Series 1, like undrafted guys. Bobby Hurley, rookie card. I think it was his rookie season that was ruined due to his, maybe it was like after that, but he had that horrible motorcycle crash, which pretty much killed his career. Big name coming out of Duke at this point, Bobby Hurley. There is Moses, Warren Kidd, rookie card. I think he was an undrafted free agent, or undrafted free agent rookie. That's what I meant to say. And there's the Penny Hardaway, aka Anthony. That one's in pretty decent shape. Not too shabby. Hubert Davis, Tony Campbell. Who was the Knicks rookie this year? And they might, I would say, I don't think they even had one. They're probably too good. Isaiah Ryder, rookie card. Luke Longley, prior to joining the Bulls. Not too long before joining the Bulls. 91-92 rookie on Derek Strong. I think it's the first time I've seen anybody with that on there. We saw a couple of 92-93s. There's the Vin Baker rookie. Brian Shaw before joining Orlando. And then Nick the Quick. My buddy Dave had that jersey when we were younger, even though we were Celtics fans. I think he got it as like a Christmas gift or something. You know, the like random family member hears that you like something and they just pick it up, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Like, you could be a Red Sox fan, they're like, oh, he likes baseball, and then they buy you a Yankees hat. At least they tried. One of those situations. Alright, last bit here. Still yet to see the Weber. There's the Antonio Davis rookie card. Richard Petruska. And then Sam Cassell. He had a really nice career. At least one All-Star and under his belt. And then there's the Chris Webber. That one's in pretty nice shape too. To join my Hall of Fame rookie collection. Josh Grant, rookie. Don't think he spent too long in the league that I can remember. Lindsey Hunter, Allen Houston, the 2 first-round picks for the Pistons in this year's draft. There's another weird one too, 87-88. How far back are we having to go for some of these guys? Are you trying to tell me like Cadillac Anderson has not had any other Skybox cards? I don't know why they would put that on there. There's the Mashburn. And then Ron Popeye Jones. He is unmistakable because of them ears. Chris Mills. He was with the Celtics for 1 season at least. Might have only been 1 when they were in the dumpers. Yeah, Pete Myers gets the 87-88 rookie treatment as well. There is the Tony Kukoc. He was part of the 1990 draft class, I think. Or it might have even been 89. But he gets the 93-94 rookie treatment. Hersey Hawkins. Maybe he was the one traded to... I don't know, because he was definitely on Seattle when they played the Bulls in the finals years later. I'm still racking my brain trying to remember who the hell Charlotte traded to Seattle for, or who Seattle traded to Charlotte for Kendall Gill. Paul Graham, last couple here. And then Craig Elo finishes it out. So that is all I've got for you guys tonight. Again, another really beautiful set from 1993-94. I think in terms of the 90s, 93-94, they really nailed it in terms of the designs, especially coming off some of the previous years. Really, basically all of the companies for 93-94, which we've seen a lot of those products here on the channel at this point. But like I said, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Of course, we'll be back with another new box opening and or rip here next Thursday evening, so make sure you come on back to see what I'm getting into, and I'll see you guys on the next video.